I'll always be with you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Painted Dog TV. You might be quite surprised to see me sitting here at FC in Alboma, where we often do our live talk shows. Unfortunately, I have some sad news to share with you, everybody. We've experienced a phenomenal couple of days of massive electric storms here in the area around Rietspruit, and specifically here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, and it has whacked us hard, everybody. So the Jackal, our trusty vehicle, is sadly down at the moment. We've had a strike to the vehicle, we've had water damage, and so we have had to order new parts for the vehicle to get that sorted out. So sadly, no drive this afternoon, although to be honest with you, there's still more rain around. Even if the Jackal was firing on all cylinders, we probably wouldn't have got out this afternoon either. It does also sadly mean that tomorrow's drives are also both cancelled. But we promise we'll be back very, very soon. VM is working on it, and we should be getting the parts for the vehicle pretty soon, and then should be back out on the road. For those of you that watch our cameras as well, our live cameras, you may have noticed as well that a number of them have gone down. This again is all due to the electrical storm, everybody. So we've been hit pretty hard, and we just wanted to get online with you guys this evening and just give you an update, not only about that, but some other things that we'll chat about briefly with you all this afternoon. If you have any questions, please just send them through. I'm busy looking at my phone here, and can chat to our pack members that have joined us. Thanks for joining us. Jennifer, Elsa, Di, Barbara, Michael, Mary, CJ, Marcy, Elsa, Rosemary. So sad that we're not out in the bush looking for animals, everybody, but lovely to have you with us. And like I say, if you have any questions, please send them through. I did want to share with you all that I had spoken to Grant today, Grant Beverley from the Endangered Wildlife Trust. I spoke to him this morning just asking for an update on the genetic testing that was happening with the female wild dogs that we're hoping to introduce to the pack of males here in the Boma on Blaubank, here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And he has sent me through an update, which I just want to read to you all now. So this is directly from Grant. He said, "Good day, everybody. I just spoke to the lab that is generating the genetic results to find out what the holdup is all about. The lab does not commonly do wild dogs, and there were a couple of questions that had to be addressed beforehand. For example, can they use same genetic markers as in domestic dogs, reviewing of literature, and how many markers are the same as in domestic dogs and can be used for our purposes? Which questions can we answer with the markers that are the same as in domestic dogs and can thus be studied by the lab?" And then on top of that, there's been a bit of a communication breakdown between the lab and a middleman before getting that information across to Grant. So that has slowed things down a bit as well. But what is good is that they have now answered most of the questions and are busy analyzing the samples. So the results will be coming out, we believe, pretty soon. But what also happens is the lab closes now on the 16th of December and only reopens again on the 3rd of January. So they say that we should get those results then sort of middle of January is the hope. But the good news is that they have managed to answer some of those questions that they were worried about, and can then get to the testing. So that's the update there, everybody. Sadly, those male wild dogs are going to have to sit tight a little while longer, but we'll obviously keep them safe, keep them well fed, and it does mean for us, of course, that we get to see them quite a bit until they release, which is always a good thing. And fortunately, like I say, they are safe, everybody. We are also going to try run through a couple of this week's highlights for you, everybody, and the team are busy working on it at the moment. So they're going to bring up some of the highlights that myself and Andrew have had this week. It's been a phenomenal week of game viewing. And I think the first one that Maddie's busy bringing up now, everybody, was, I think, actually from this morning.
Climbing the vehicle, though, which is nice.
Digging what we presume was a warthog. He was trying to dig up a warthog in a burrow. Quite amazing scenes this morning. for those of you that didn't join on this morning's drive, the team managed to capture this. Incredible stuff. This is the first time I'm seeing this, by the way, everybody. Obviously quite a dense area where he was digging. His head being on the left of screen and his bum and tail being on the far right of screen. And amazing how resourceful these cats are in general. But of course, this injured male is now having to find food in other ways because he's not always keeping up with the pride and his brothers, and spends a lot of time on his own. And then add to the fact that he's obviously injured means that he's having to be a lot more resourceful than usual. And so he was attempting to dig up what I can only assume was a warthog, but you never know. It could have been something else. Could have been an aardvark, could have been a porcupine, but he's clearly picked up on something underground there. On one of my recent drives, we actually saw a warthog coming out of a burrow similar to that, which would have initially been dug up, I would imagine, by aardvark and then later spread by the warthogs. Look at that. Shame, incredible, hey? Now, I have seen both leopard and lion successfully dig up warthogs in the past. They just don't give up, and I think eventually the animal inside the burrow loses its nerve and tries to escape, and that's when they grab hold of it, because they can't get all the way in there. Obviously, they're massive, these cats, and the entrance to these burrows is pretty narrow. So they're digging desperately to try and open it up to try and get in there. I'm just going to go through some of your comments here, everyone, while you're watching this amazing footage. Yes, indeed, Mary. The wet season has hit us hard. But don't worry, VM's on it. We'll be fixing things as fast as possible and should get everything up and running pretty soon. I don't doubt VM for 1 second. Thank you, Barbara and Di. Yeah, we are all safe, but sadly, quite a lot of people have lost their homes in the area. The devastation has been quite remarkable. I've never seen anything like it up here in the Lowveld. Extreme winds have torn down trees, wiped out power lines. There's a house not far from where we are actually right now that got completely demolished by wind and trees that had fallen on the home. And this family are now having to live elsewhere while they try and repair the damage. So very grateful that all of us here at Painted Dog haven't been physically affected by this crazy storm that's hit us. Amazing stuff. Hey folks, watching this male lion do everything in his power to dig up whatever was in that burrow. Very, very cool footage. An amazing highlight for the week. Michael's just asked the question, once everything is repaired, safe to conduct drives, do you anticipate will be limited road-wise? Just coming in here now, Michael, I was literally slip-sliding away. It was quite fun, to be honest. I was having a jaw, having so much fun driving in here. Literally, the car was just fishtailing, and that's just on one stretch of road. So, yes, the roads are badly damaged. They're very saturated. So we will be restricted to some degree, but we'll probably just have to avoid the low-lying areas. And, you know, as soon as we've had 48 hours of sunlight, everything should be good. The soils will be compacted and hard again, and we'll be able to go off-road. But I mean, if we were going out this afternoon, yes, we would be limited quite a lot. But the rain seems to die off from Tuesday, from the last weather report that I looked at. So fingers crossed, everything should be good. We're going to go into the next highlight, everybody, which I think was lions again. And this time, I think it was on one of my drives. Yes. So it was amazing. We located the pride. They were on the move, and then they came out at the reservoir. As you can see there at the beginning of the shot, the young elephant bulls just feeding in the background, and just so special to see the whole pride on the move like this with the two ginger males. and watch them come and approach the reservoir here and try to figure out a way to drink. They started with the reservoir itself. Oh, well, actually what they did is they started at the back of the reservoir. There's obviously water that's escaping through a crack in the reservoir at the back, and I think all of the girls started drinking at the back there. And then a couple minutes later, the male lions came in. You can actually see the males now coming from the back. What an incredible shot. And just see the males trailing from behind the females. They came in and then disrupted the females while they were drinking. And you'll see what happens next here, everybody. It was pretty cool moment. Thank you, Barbara. Yeah, we definitely are grateful that we're all safe, and we also hope that everybody else that's been affected can recover as fast as possible. Look at that beautiful shot to the mountains, the elephant and the lions. So much happening in one particular spot. You'll see now this lioness jumped up onto the reservoir wall. She was desperately trying to find a way to drink. Marcy, I actually don't know how this boma held firm, to be honest. I'm amazed that it didn't get its top ripped off. Look at this amazing shot, guys, right in front of the vehicle. Could almost reach out and touch this lioness. See the blood under her belly there, towards the front legs. So they had killed something small. We were discussing it on drive. Probably an impala or an inyala would be my guess. I suppose they also might have killed something slightly larger, and then the males robbed them of it. But they definitely ate something that night. And then, of course, I think it was the next night, they killed a giraffe, which might still be feeding on right now, the pride and the males. So cool seeing that cat on top of the reservoir. And then they all eventually decided to come and drink at the water that spills out of that reservoir. There's a crack in the reservoir, and you'll see I just had to maneuver here so that we could actually get that on film, because they were starting to drink right behind the vehicle. Incredible scenes here. Jennifer, to answer your question about how long has the injured male been on his own, he spends a lot of time on his own, to be honest, but every now and then he does reconnect with the pride or his brothers. So he hasn't separated from the pride yet. I think he just struggles to keep up at times. And when he does, or when he cannot find signs of the pride or his brothers, he then has to resort to obviously feeding himself. And so that's why he was probably quite desperate this morning. He obviously, I don't think, has been at that giraffe carcass, so he's quite desperate at the moment. He looked pretty skinny in that footage. Look, how amazing is that, seeing them all drink together like that? So beautiful. What a privilege to have been there, seeing the pride all together. So very, very special indeed. Very cool stuff. Right, so now show you a very funny highlight of the week. The whole herd of elephants have been spending quite a bit of time here around our camp, and the young bull, Cheeky Chops, as he's often referred to by a lot of our viewers and some of the crew here, I think got hold of Camp Cam, and I think we've got some of that footage which we're going to share with you now, everybody. Another amazing scene with them right here at our camp. Yes, I tell you what, we're so lucky to live here, live like this, and constantly get visited by these amazing wild animals. That young bull was having an amazing time. You can see him fiddling there, check. They're so clever, these elephants. Amazing how they don't miss a beat. They pick up on everything. And they can be so incredibly destructive, of course. Not just on vegetation, but on all of our equipment as well. We've seen a lot of pipes being ripped up on the recent drives by the elephants. You can see the young bull fiddling with it there now. Using his foot at the same time. Naughty bugger. That's very cool. He's certainly persistent. Oh, there you go. Goodbye, camera. Oh my word. This is the first time I've seen this footage as well, by the way, everybody. It's very entertaining. VM's probably using foul language in the background right now. Did he stick it in his mouth? He did stick it in his mouth. He's chewing on the camera. What is wrong with this elephant? Oh my God. That is crazy. Well, that couldn't have tasted very good, bud. Ah, there you go, spits it out. Good job. Yeah, crazy stuff, hey folks. It's also probably got a lot to do with the fact that it is a young elephant, so very inquisitive. They get involved in everything.
There's the injured camera.
Amazing. Jana's actually just walked through here to where I am, everybody, and she's brought me the camera that was chewed on by that elephant. It's quite crazy to see it now in my hands and see the damage. Pretty damn sturdy camera, to be honest. Elephants have got very powerful jaws, and you can see here now, everybody, Basil's busy zooming in. You can see some of the tooth marks on this end here, and he definitely shattered the glass in front of the lens. I mean, for the rest of it, it's still pretty good, to be honest. But it definitely blew up. I can see black burn marks on the back here. Hello, Chloa. What do you want to do, my girl? Do you want to play with your rock? Where's your rock? Here's your rock. Go fetch it. So we're busy babysitting Brent's beautiful dog, everybody. And she's decided to come play fetch with me here. Very cool footage, that, folks. We'll just go through some of the comments here. Michael's made the comment, I bet Andrew's loving having the elephants around his tent at night. I don't think Andrew slept for a week, everybody. He's probably trying to have a snooze in the house right now on one of the beds in there. Hello, Carol. Lovely to see that you've popped in. Chaos here. Electrical storm has wiped us out, but we'll be back soon. Very, very special. All right, everybody. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. Yeah, like I say, folks, not much we can do about it right now in terms of the damage, but we're on it. We're busy repairing everything. And hopefully, if all goes to plan, we might be able to have a drive Tuesday or Wednesday ready for everybody that would like to come and join us. But yeah, thanks for tuning in this afternoon, folks. We'll hopefully be back out in the bush with you on a safari very, very soon. I'm gonna go entertain Flora with this rock, and we'll keep you posted, everybody. We'll update you again very soon. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful day wherever you are, and yeah, keep well, folks.